One of the things that stopped me from putting out episode 1 and why this took such a long time to get put together was, Lao Tzu said, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. I wanted to make sure that that first step was in the right direction, because you don't want to start a journey of 1,000 miles with a step in the wrong way and you go, oh shit, I got to turn around and go the other way. So forever, I struggled with what is going to be the first topic? What is going to be the first subject that we talk about on this podcast that we hope has long legs and we feel will deliver some amazing content because of based on what we delivered previously and the feedback that we're getting with the books that we put out and stuff like that. What should be the first step? And a Navy SEAL friend of mine introduced me to a new podcast from a podcast that I hadn't heard about, from a host that I had not heard about previously. And his name was Jordan Harbinger. And if you have a chance to check out his Jordan Harbinger show, please do. It's amazing. And my Navy SEAL buddy made the right recommendation for me, because I love people who talk about how to improve your life without having to change any of your external conditions, which you'll see a lot of our content is connected with. And that's what his show is all about. His show is all about bringing interesting people to talk about interesting topics, to talk about deeper level mind stuff that you may have not thought about previously, but that if you do think about, you can bring it into your awareness, make some changes, and improve your life without having to change any of your external conditions. And one of his shows recently, which hit home for me because it was something that I didn't even know about, something that I have struggled with, that I didn't even know how to name. That show was about the imposter syndrome. And I didn't even know what the imposter syndrome was, so let me explain that quickly to you. The imposter syndrome is that feeling that many of us have, supposedly 70% of us, have had this feeling at some point or another in our lives, where we look around ourselves and we say, I don't deserve what I have. Or the successes that I have achieved in my life, I don't have the credibility to have those successes. Or the people around me are soon going to wake up and figure out that I'm a big fraud and that I don't really know what I'm talking about and I don't really know what I'm doing. And this could be as a parent or as a professional executive or just any place in your workforce or, a place in your social structure, whatever it is, there's that feeling of, wow, I'm not really everything that people see me as, and I'm a big fake and I'm a big fraud. And that's what the imposter syndrome is all about, is that feeling that naturally arises in people. And this struck home to me because I remember a story about a group of freshman inductees to a major university, a very prestigious university. And someone got up on stage and asked the freshman class, thousands of people in the room, to say, asked them, who here in this room feels like they don't really deserve to be here? And 2/3 of the people in that auditorium raised their hand. And so, this was at a major university like a Harvard or a Stanford or a Princeton or something like that. I can't remember which school it was, but basically they told the story that 2/3 of the people in that room in that moment didn't believe that they deserved to be there. And so this is a prevalent thing that happens with a lot of us. But regarding me and this story of mind hacking happiness and where we came from, this has been a recurring theme for me. And so I thought, what better topic to talk about in episode 1 would be, let's set aside all the amazing things that mind hacking happiness is doing for people, because it is doing some amazing things. We'll talk about that in a second. But let's talk about how many times I almost quit because I didn't believe that I could be the guy to bring this stuff forward to anybody who's interested in hearing about it, because it almost happened multiple times and I almost quit multiple times because of this imposter syndrome of, I can't be this guy. I'm not this person. Everybody's going to see me as a fraud. And maybe this stuff has value, but I shouldn't be the person bringing it.